Okay, then I'm going to quickly review Eric Bischoff's book Controversy Creates Cash. Now, it was released in about 2006, I think 2007. I remember leading up to when it was going to be released, I couldn't wait for it. I was really looking forward to this book. I thought, it's going to come out, it's going to spill the beans on what happened in WCW, how it managed to, how they basically went from him taking over in 1994, I think he became president of WCW, to how, like, 1997 they were the top wrestling company in the world, how it went from not having a show on Monday nights to getting that show on Monday nights, going against Vince, and wanting to know all these stories now, everything happened, It didn't really give me all the stuff that I wanted in this book. Some of the stuff it did give was the story of how it did come to pass that the show would be on Monday night against Vince McMahon, but that's been told in the Monday Night Wars VHS DVD. So if you've watched that, then you're not going to be bothered about this story in the book. Some interesting stuff in the book was that he talked about, I think it's Collision in Korea, where they went over to Korea, and then a lot of the Japanese guys and a lot of the American wrestlers did a mega show over there. Well, I think it might have been for charity or some political cause. I don't remember, but I remember Muhammad Ali was there, Antonio Inoki was there. I'm not sure if he said the Giant Barber was there. Maybe, I think Barber had already died at this point. I can't really remember. But yeah, it gives a lot of information. Not a lot of information, but it gives you a bit of information about how he started off in the AWA for Vern Gagne. I think he started off as part of marketing or something like that, and then he ended up being a presenter. And then from being a presenter he went to WCW as a commentator or something like that, and then obviously became president after just handing in a CV, just being hopeful, and then he ended up getting the job and being president of WCW. But that's not what WCW was like at the time. They were just giving the job to people who you wouldn't have thought were suited to the job, because was it Jim Herd who was just the head of Pizza Hut who they gave the job of head of WCW to? You can't exactly go from running Pizza Hut to WCW. I mean, that's like saying that I should become lead booker of WWE right now because I've watched a shitload of wrestling, because I'd be rubbish at it. What do I know about the business apart from just watching it? I'd put on a lot of matches that we want to see, but then it won't draw any ratings, and that's sort of what happened with Jim Herd. The viewing figures went down on the pay-per-views, but anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. Bischoff's book, I wouldn't buy it, and I wouldn't particularly read it. It's got some stuff in there. I'd read it, but I'd leave this to one of the last books that I've read. If I had other books to read, such as Jericho's biography, Bret Hart's biography, any of the top guy biographies at the time, pretty much any wrestling book I'd read before this, but I'd read it. But down the line, this would be like 50th in my queue of books that I'd want to read. If I was going to give this a rating out of 10, I'd probably say something like 5 1/4. It's only just above average. It's not a great book at all.